All right, everybody out there in the CraftChest Nation, it's CraftChest here, and yes, I know it's been a little while, but it's story time with CraftChest. Once again, it's time for a good little story, and I'm not bragging, by no means, because it could have been a lot worse, but yesterday while I was at work, or day before yesterday, last time that I closed, I was inside, and I got called up front for something, and I happened to look outside, and I saw a police officer, which looked like was standing behind my car, but there was this big, long Escalade. I don't know, 2024, 2025, brand new Escalade. And I couldn't quite tell if he was looking at my vehicle, but it looked like where he was standing, it was. I was like, why is that cop standing behind my car? And so I was like, hey, everybody, just hope you don't need anything real quick. Let me step outside and see what's going on. And yes, it was my vehicle, and he was running my plates. He didn't say anything after he ran the plates. I was like, he was walking towards the front door, and I met him about halfway. I was like, hey, running my plates out there? He goes, yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, but your car's been hit. I was like, oh, well, and my first reaction, goodness to honest truth, was, oh, well, I'm not worried about it. There ain't no way they could hurt my car in the parking lot. And I was like, well, let's go look. Hopefully it ain't too bad. And I was expecting to see like this big caved in dent, or whatever, damage to the Defiant. And then I stepped around the corner. I was like, and I was just kind of like laughed about it. I was like, that's it? That's all it did? And I'm looking at this big giant Escalade, brothers, like 4-door long, these 20-foot long big behemoths, 17 feet tall, Escalade. And a woman come around the corner. I am so sorry. I did not mean to do. I was like, is that all it did? And I'm going to show you a picture of it here in just a moment, but I'm going to go through this narrative right quick just to explain. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. I just cut the corner, and I wasn't, whatever. I wasn't paying attention. I should have backed straight up a little further. And you could tell she wasn't really used to driving such a large vehicle. So, husband must be, making it rain dollars out there to give her something like that. And so I was like, oh, it ain't no big deal. If that's all it did, I can buff that out real quick. And I was like, hopefully it didn't hurt your vehicle. Oh, shit. And then I looked over. I was like, okay, I'm sorry that he did that to your vehicle. Oh, no. What are you apologizing for? I'm the one to hit your... I was like, man, I'm sorry. That's going to cost you a lot of money. Because I was about to say, oh, you can probably buff that right out. And I looked over. And everybody out there who knows, who's been following, knows that, we did Project Defiant. We added Raptor liner, 2 gallons of Raptor to the Defiant. And yeah, this right here is a very good testament to that product. The T-Paul, I think, is what the actual company is that makes Raptor. And I looked over, I should have took a picture. I didn't want to say, hey, let me take a picture, make a big deal out of it. The officer was standing there, and he was just kind of sitting back smiling about it, because he's like, after I get to talking to him, I'll tell you what he said. But I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that happened to your vehicle. And I'm talking about from the top of the light, however far it was, down to those corner sensors, the railing, and I'll show you with the mouse cursor here in just a moment. It like ripped those corner sensors that they have on the vehicles, kind of ripped it out of socket. And it like peeled. It looked like Raptor claws. Like if you, I should have took a picture. I really wish I would have took a picture, because it just like a round corner, like it went around a corner. It looked like claws just ripped her paint off of her vehicle, and I was like, oh my God, because I was like, oh, you can probably, oh no, you can't buff that out, can you? And I went to like feel it, and it was like down to the metal. Amazing. And once again, I'm not bragging. I'm so glad that it turned out the way it was, because I really can't afford repairs. I've been doing myself anyway, I think. But let me show you what this actually did. Let me bring this up. Light's going to change a little bit. But this is what it did to the Defiant. Right here. Yep. That's what it did. And I can't change the settings of it. But yeah. Let's see. Can I do this? I can't. Why won't it let me full screen? Yeah, there we go. Let me full screen it. And this is what it actually did. You can tell this is where the corner sensor got ripped out right here. Yeah, right along the railing here, and then it hit the door jamb. But in most cases where something so large would hit a vehicle, it would just cave that in, and it would be like this big giant, dent panel or whatever. But that's all that happened. It scraped the paint off of it. Then I got to talking with the officer, and he said, that's impressive. He goes, what is this on here? And I was like, it's Raptor liner. I was like, I literally put it on the vehicle just for such things because it is so durable. It's not like what is that other stuff? I forgot the name. I was wanting to tell them. It's not like Rhino liner because Rhino liner's got like this rubberized type of texture to it and whatever. But yeah, that's impressive. It was impressive to me because when I looked at it, I was like, that's all it did? It's like, don't even worry about it. I'm so sorry that, it hurt your vehicle. And it did. I can't even imagine on a front corner panel around the side because it's like she hit and then went like this, like turn around the corner before she realized what happened. And then she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. If you need my insurance, like, no, don't even worry about it. I was like, what did you do? Like, I can go home, wash the car. I'll take the drill and the brush like I do when I take off overspray, which I've shown videos on that, how I take off overspray whenever I'm doing paint on the Defiant. Yeah, it's durable material. So shout out to Raptor Liner. I might actually, tag in here because I am very impressed on how durable it has made the vehicle. And there's things that's happened where I was like, oh my gosh, that's going to come right off. And nope, it didn't. And yeah. And then I got to talking with the officer. He was like, what is this stuff? Raptor Liner. I was like, yeah. He goes, man, that's impressive. Because most times we see these side swipes and the door's like caved in, especially when it's a car versus a big SUV like that. That's honestly, he goes, I'm impressed that that's all it did. So I was like, well, do you need anything from me? He goes, nope, you don't want to file a report? I was like, I don't need a report. I didn't do anything. Like literally, it's just paint on the side of the vehicle, the door. I can go buff that right on out. I feel sorry for her for having to pay for that big Escalade damage that she's got going on there. So yeah. And something I just now noticed, I wish I still haven't got rid of the watermark for VCAM, but VCAM's been improved pretty good because this got the background out of there. But I just now noticed my Down for Sound shirt matches color scheme what Gun Toad made for me years ago right here. That's awesome. I like that. Yeah, maybe that's why I wanted this shirt. Shout out to Gun Toad. He does this artwork. I guess he still does artwork for people out there. And that's about it. Just wanted to share that with you, everybody. I hope everybody out there is doing having an amazing life, having an amazing 2025, except for what's going on, money-wise, and everything's spiking up in prices and all that. But that's a whole different video. I don't even want to get in on the political side of life. I hope everybody's surviving. How about that? What else is going on? That's about it right now. PoE2 news and all that. There's so many thoughts that I've had where I just need to sit down and stop being lazy. And of course the new look, as everybody may or may not have seen. We got a new look going on here. Letting hair grow out. Kind of look like David Brevik in a way. I don't know. The creator. Maybe that's where this came from. It's a craft of the mind, everybody. Go out there and have some fun. Story time with CraftChest once again. Woo!